Hey guys, this is Dr. John, and in this video we'll be talking about how you can upgrade your heroes fast without having to sit out too many wars or having to spend any gems. So stick around till the end and we'll be talking about a lot of useful things. Two obvious things that you need for hero upgrades are Dark Elixir and time. And in this video we'll be talking about how you can farm Dark Elixir really fast without having to do any boosting or gemming, and how you can farm Dark Elixir when you don't have your heroes available, they are currently upgrading. You can still farm Dark Elixir without your heroes, so you can just upgrade them non-stop if you want. There are two different approaches to upgrading your heroes. First is upgrading both the heroes at the same time. What this means is you will have to set out wars when your heroes are upgrading, but when you are warring you will have both the heroes, and it's also faster to upgrade heroes this way. And the second is upgrading one hero at a time and maybe warring with just one hero. It can be done, but you will not be doing as good in wars with one hero, so I personally recommend that you prefer the first method and just take some time off. Take 3 wars off if your clan does back-to-back wars, and do 1 level on both your heroes. Or if you can take like 4 or 5 weeks off and just focus on raiding and get 5 levels on both the heroes, it can really up your offensive power when you come back to war. Again, it's your own choice, and I'll be talking about both the methods in this video. Now let's say you want to go with the first method, upgrade both your heroes at the same time. Now you need to find a strategy that can get you Dark Elixir fast, and also more importantly get you Dark Elixir when you don't have your heroes to attack with. Now, one popular strategy in this is Goblin Knife, which I would say is really effective to get Dark Elixir, and it's a pretty cheap army as well. But the con with this Goblin Knife strategy is if you fail, you get pretty much nothing, and you don't get most of the league bonus because you will be getting very low percentage. Now my favorite strategy to farm Dark Elixir when I have my heroes upgrading is Baby Loon. I've already made a few videos on this, so I'll put them in the description and on the screen probably, so you can check them out. Big advantage of this Baby Loon strategy over Goblin Knife is that even if you fail, you don't get your funnel right or your troops die out in the middle, you would almost always get some of the loot and end up winning the battle and getting at least most of the league bonus. So if you are in Masters or Champs, league bonus alone will be good in cases when you miss. And I personally farm in Champs 3, so I am getting around 1200 Dark Elixir every raid as a league bonus, and when you calculate it over hundreds of raids, it really adds up. Let's do the math. After level 15, all hero upgrades take 7 days, and all the Dark Elixir you can store is 200k. Of course you can store some more in your treasury, but that's about it you can store in your storage. So that puts the daily Dark Elixir required at about 30k. So if you make 30k or more Dark Elixir every day, you will be consistently able to fill your Dark Elixir storage every 7 days. Now, you may be someone who just cannot get on the game too much you have work, you have studies, so you cannot just sit on the game and do too many raids. You will just be occasionally opening the game, doing some attacks and going off. And I think this is what most of us do, and this is, I think, I do as well. I play this game a lot, but I am not online a lot. I just come online, do a couple of attacks and go off. So this is the basic technique that I want to stress on, is that you do 2 attacks at a time. So you can queue 2 armies, as you might know. So what you will do is every time you get online, you will queue 2 armies, and so next time you are online, you have 2 full armies ready, spells and everything. Of course, if you have heroes, you will be able to use them once, because once they get damaged, you won't have them for the next attack. And this is fine for me. What I do is, when I will go with my first attack, I will use my heroes, and I slightly tweak both my armies according to it. So when I have my heroes, I will be taking in a couple wall breakers, since I'm doing an air attack. When I don't have my heroes, I don't need wall breakers or anything. So when I have my heroes, I will use 3 wall breakers or 3-4 wizards to support them. And when I don't have my heroes, I will just go for a bigger air army, take maybe 1 extra baby dragon or something like that. You can also tweak your spells according to that if you are someone who uses a bigger kill squad when you have your heroes. So this is how you need to tweak your army. One of your armies should be the one where you are using your heroes, and the other where you are not. So you get on, do 2 attacks, and before logging off, you again queue 2 armies. And this is how we do it. Every time you get a break, maybe it's a lunch break, you can just spend 5-10 minutes on the game. Just do this every time, and if you do this 2, 3, 4 times a day, which I don't think is that big of a challenge to do, you will be easily making the amount of dark elixir you need. Now at Town Hall 11, one thing I'd like to do is, when I have all my heroes up, I will use my king and queen in one attack and my warden in the second attack. I don't use all 3 heroes in one. This is something that is exclusive to Town Hall 11. At lower town halls, I would not split king and queen. I don't recommend using king in one and queen in one. You can do that, but I personally prefer that king and queen go so well together that when you are doing it, go with both heroes. And of course, with the technique I'm talking about here, you will be doing a lot of farming when you don't even have your heroes up. They are upgrading, so you will have to be prepared to attack without your heroes. Now let's talk about the army I recommend for hero farming. My favorite army in the last few months have been Baby Dragon and Balloon strategy. I've already made 2 videos on it, and they are the most popular videos on my channel. Both have most views, so you can check them out as well. But in essence, what I'm trying to do is, I take 7 or 8 baby dragons, and then I'm pretty much filling my army camp with balloons, 32 balloons. When I have my heroes, I will also take a few wall breakers and wizards to support them. Heroes will go in and try to take out the queen or an air defense, whatever is accessible. But when you don't have the queen, it doesn't matter. It's a pretty simple strategy. All you need to do is spread your balloons around and follow them up with baby dragons. You have to start with the edges of a side and move towards the center, so everything funnels towards the center. And most of the time, this attack strategy gets me at least a 2-star and most of the dark elixir. Many times your troops may die if the base is difficult, or CSE troops come out and you don't counter them that well. Always take poisons for CC, by the way. If you don't have your heroes, definitely you will need poison spells. So this is the basic of this strategy. You can always take maybe a heal or freeze if you want, but what I prefer is take 2 haste and just all rage spells filled with rage. I'm taking 4 rage spell at Town Hall 10 and 11. At 11 I can take even 5, one in Clan Castle. But at Town Hall 11 level I'm using clone spell, which I think works great. When you are in the core, you drop the clone spell and you can just overwhelm the defenses. The basic strength of this strategy is that your balloons can overwhelm the defenses. It doesn't matter if it's infernos or air defenses. You are not taking hounds or anything to tank. Your balloons will be the one to tank and to do the damage. And of course your balloons cannot target Dark Elixir storage or Town Hall, and this is why you are taking baby dragons. Baby dragons will help you in taking out all these non-defense structures, as well as the queen and the Clan Castle troops if they come out. So this is the basic premise of the strategy. If you want to see a more detailed explanation, check out my videos. I will have the link in the description. Now let's talk about the second approach, when you are upgrading only one hero at a time. One thing I get asked a lot in this game is, my king is at this level and my queen is at this level, what should I upgrade? And my answer has always been the queen. Unless your king is falling too far behind, it's always better to focus on your queen. The reason being, not only she has higher DPS, but she's also a ranged troop. What that means is, you can put her behind some tanks or put healers on her, and she can survive most of the raid or even full 3 minutes. So being with higher DPS and being able to survive longer, the damage adds up a lot, while king in most attacks will die before the queen. Now when you only have one of your heroes up and the other is upgrading, you can use that remaining hero as part of a mini kill squad. So say you only have a king up, like I have right now on my main account. So I just use 3 or 4 wizards and the king to just walk around the side and take out a few defenses, and if there is a queen that I can approach, I will try to make my king go towards her. And if I only have my queen up and the king is upgrading, I will use a couple of giants to help tank a little bit and let queen do some damage. You don't really have to change your farming strategy that much, but you will be needing a lesser amount of Dark Elixir because you're only focusing on one hero at a time and not doing both. So what you can do is make a more balanced army that is not that elixir heavy. You can add some Dark Elixir troops. Like if you are using a baby loon, you can add 1 or 2 hounds, and it's a well-rounded army, so you can gain both elixir as well as Dark Elixir. So let's talk about the trophy range you should be farming in. I personally recommend going a bit higher so you can get at least some Dark Elixir as league bonus. It will really help you out in the long run. These are my recommendations for the trophy ranges at each town hall. Personally, I am farming in Jams 3 around 3200 trophies on both my accounts. I try to keep my trophy range between 3200 and 3300, and once I start to go higher, I go ahead and drop some trophies. And I definitely recommend that you try to find your own sweet spot. Previously I was farming around 2600 and 2800, and it was a good range as well. So find a trophy range that really works for you and stick to it. Now, how much Dark Elixir you should be targeting every raid? These are my recommendations at each town hall. At Town Hall 10, I'm trying to get around 4000 Dark Elixir for every raid I do, including the league bonus. So the league bonus is 1200, so I'll be targeting 2800 or so Dark Elixir. And one more thing to remember is, don't just go for how much this base is offering, go for how much you can get. If it's maxed down on 11, offering you 5000 dark elixir, you may not have the troops to get it all, so you may end up getting less than 2000. So keep that in mind and go for dark elixir you can definitely get. And it's not that difficult to get 3000 dark elixir every raid at Town Hall 9 and above, and combine it with league bonus, and it really adds up a lot. So this is it. Hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, share it with your friends or clanmates. It might help them as well, and of course it helps the channel. Subscribe if you haven't, because I'll be uploading a couple more videos this week, and hopefully we'll be seeing some update news soon. So thanks for watching, and check out the videos on the screen.